Hello there, my name is Murray. I'm with my co-host Cory, and we are The Real Guys, and this is The Real Show with two E's. And we are your number one platform on the airwaves and YouTube for pop culture, film, and television discussion. As always, I'm accompanied by my co-host Cory. How are you doing today, Cory?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. Just let you know, our other platforms, we are on Instagram at The Real Show FM and on Twitter at The Real Show FM. So give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe. So me and Cory have sort of trawled the depths of the Star Wars universe to bring you our top 5 obscure characters from the films. Now, a couple of rules here. They have to have appeared in the films. They have to at least have had one line or no lines. They have to be featured somewhere. They can have appeared in other things. They could have appeared in maybe Rebels afterwards or Star Wars or Clone Wars, but they have to have had their start in the films. Who wants to kick off? So I'll let you kick off. Who have you got first?
I can kick off. My number 5 is Constable Zevio.
Constable Zevio, okay, and who the listener? You might explain to the listener, the viewer, who is Constable Zevio? Well, actually, no. Explain where Constable Zevio first came from.
So the trilogy is coming out, right? Force Awakens, this big thing, and it's Star Wars is back, and it's this character who we've been hearing some stuff about. Right, it's gonna be a big character, and an action figure gets made. Constable Zevio got his nice staff, got his spear, appears in the trailer. Right, he's an alien wearing a green and red hat, and who is this guy? He's playing a big part in Star Wars. Film comes around. Everyone's thinking, where is he? Where's this big character going to be? He's got trailers, he's got figures. Where is he? He appears once in the film, and he contributes nothing to the rest of the trilogy. And that's Constable Zevio. Somehow managed to get an action figure and had this.
Constable Zevio, I feel like, is a classic Star Wars example of the character that looks cool, really hyped, and then does nothing. It isn't even there.
Maybe they did have plans for him. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they thought, you know what? We'll just make a figure. We'll get some buzz.
I think he appears in the background of like one shot of Jakku.
Yeah.
And then he's in The Mandalorian for like a couple of scenes, like as a background character.
Yeah, I think that's
just because they reuse like the suit or whatever, they reuse like the suit for him.
Yeah, so obviously it's the same person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My number 5 is another alien from The Force Awakens. Mine is Professor Aliam.
Okay.
Now, not as well known as Constable Zevio, Professor Aliam appears in Episode 7, The Force Awakens, as I said, and he appears in Maz's castle. Professor Aliam is there, and he is a very tall alien. He's got a big pea head. He's got a big green head with loads of sort of long grey hair. He's got a weird sort of screwed up face, a weird shrew face, and he's got a big green head and a big tall collar, and he's a big tall man, and he walks around the castle. And that's it. He has no lines. You can barely see him in the background of a shot, but he is there. And he's once again, he's the classic Star Wars example of looks cool, does nothing. I don't even know what his background is.
I was going to say,
I think he's some kind of intergalactic professor.
Do we actually know what his race is?
No, we don't know what his race is either. There was a bunch of aliens in Episode 7 who just have cool-looking designs, but we have no idea what their race is. It's not listed. It's not listed on his Wikipedia on his Wikipedia account. It's not listed. Now, who's your number 4?
I'm kicking it off back to the prequels, back to everyone's favourite Phantom Menace.
Oh, we love the Phantom Menace here.
Everyone loves Phantom Menace. And I'm going for Aurora Singh.
Aurora Singh. Now, this is probably the most developed character on this list. Maybe you've got one or two.
Yeah, well, she appears in the pod racing scene, just kind of standing there, hanging out. Everyone was a bit of pod racing, you know. I'm on a bounty hunting mission. Oh, I'll just watch some pod racing before I go.
Well, actually, she was there for a reason. Apparently, one of the pod racers went missing or something.
Right.
Or it was actually hard to take him out, get rid of him, because he was flying this experimental pod. Which I love that Star Wars does this. It was a minor detail that no one would have really cared about, but it's covered in the expanded material. So
I just assumed she was a big Sebulba fan.
Yeah. And she was concept art for a female bounty hunter, who was called initially Lady Fett or something her name was, in prototype. She was like a Jedi apprentice, and she collected lightsabers, and she was really cool and ruthless, and she was this kind of insane assassin bounty hunter. Very interesting, though. I took a very good pick. I am also going to go to the prequels for my number 4. I have 2, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I have 2 characters. And those characters are Sam Hill and Shu Mai from the Separatist Council scene in Attack of the Clones. Now, Obi-Wan, he's on Geonosis, he's sneaking around. He infiltrates the secret meeting. Count Dooku's having a meeting with the Separatist Council. He's meeting them. There's loads of sort of businessmen and dignitaries there. Newt Gunray's there. Poggle, the rest of the Geonosians there. One of your favourites, Wat Tambor, is there.
Good old Wat Tambor.
You do love Wat Tambor. But Sam Hill is there. And Sam Hill is a moon. He's a very long man. He's got a very tall head, very long fingers and arms. He's got one line. If you want an impression, I can give you an inflection if you like, Cory.
Go for it.
He goes, "The banking clan will sign your treaty." And that's what he says.
Nice.
Thank you. And then Shu Mai says something in an alien language. She's a Gossam, and she works for the Commerce Guild. And Sam Hill is the chairman of the banking clan. They side with Count Dooku, and they're on the Separatist Council through episode 2 and episode 3. Unlike most of these characters that we talk about, they do actually get a dignified end. They are killed by Darth Vader on Mustafar in episode 3. So
I'm keeping it in the prequels.
Okay, keep it there.
Keeping it in Phantom Menace, right? Jedi Council. And I'm, of course, talking about the green, mean fighting machine that begins with a Y, which is obviously Yaddle.
Yaddle, not Yoda.
Not Yoda.
Yaddle.
Yaddle, who is Yoda but a woman.
Yes,
with hair.
Yoda but a woman.
And again, not much is known about Yaddle. Appears in the new Lego Star Wars games. Playable character is Yaddle.
Yeah.
Killed by Darth Vader in a vision.
Yes.
Is Yaddle.
Yes. Well, no, I think she was on the council. She may have left for some reason, or something. Said, I don't want to live that council life. Sit in a chair all day and do nothing.
Yeah.
What kind of job's that? No, none of the Jedi ever speak in the council, apart from Ki-Adi-Mundi sometimes.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Yoda and Mace.
Similar to what we're saying, Yaddle was also concept art. However, Yaddle was concept art for a young Yoda, and then became female Yoda.
She's one of the three members of Yoda's species that we know, which has never been named as well.
No, I get it. I'm surprised by that.
It is Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu,
yes.
or Baby Yoda, as he's called from The Mandalorian. He's not actually Yoda. He's just a member of Yoda's species.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Baby Yoda. Like, no, it's not actually Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
it's not Yoda when he's a baby. It's just a member of Yoda's species.
It's also not Yoda's baby.
It's also not Yoda's baby. Yoda and Yaddle didn't shack up in the Clone Wars and have a Baby Yoda.
I mean, yeah, that is Yaddle. I mean, who you got? Who's your number 3?
Right, my number 3 is another 2.
Okay.
I've gone for Momor Nadon and Arliel Scouse.
Right.
And they are both in Chalmers Spaceport Cantina in 1977 in episode 4 A New Hope. They show up in the cantina, they show up there.
Another place chock full of background characters.
Yeah, it is. And they've all got names. I'll tell you this story. They've all got names, they've all got backstories. Momor Nadon, aka Hammerhead, is what his nickname was.
Nice.
The boy was named. He's an Ithorian. He's got a big hammerhead, big head, and his backstory is that he used to be an Imperial spy who was working for the Empire, and he sort of leaked Ithorians' agricultural secrets, which are sacred. And the Ithorian society sort of cast him out, forced him into exile. So he now lives on Tatooine, and he has his own little secret garden. And Arliel Scouse, aka Wolfman, and who actually, Arliel Scouse isn't actually in the special edition versions. He was removed for the favour of another Wolfman alien called Lax Sivrak. But in the Elite Special Edition, you can see him in all his glory. He's there, he's a big werewolf man. He's got a cup, he drinks from it. He does like a growl noise, he's got red eyes. And another cool little Star Wars detail I like is that it's said that his species, his wolf species, is said to sort of refract light around him, so they're always in darkness. And that's funny because this shot of Arliel Scouse is just completely in shadow, so you can barely see it.
Nice.
So canon, or Legends rather, has made up for that by saying, you know what, his species just makes things really dark. That's why he's really dark up there. So my number 3 is Momor Nadon and Arliel Scouse, who are the Hammerhead and Wolfman at the Mos Eisley Cantina in episode 4.
And I'm gonna bring it to episode 6. Turn of a Jedi. Right? And I'm gonna pronounce this guy's name wrong. However, I'm going to say it the way that's more fun to say it, the way I think it should be pronounced.
Okay.
And I'm talking about Simaloo.
Simaloo.
Simaloo. I mean, it's
not Simaloo.
No, it's similar. It's two words, but you got to say like it's one word. Simaloo.
I know he's one of the Emperor's aides.
Yes, one of Palpatine's right hand men.
Simaloo was one of the sort of dignitaries who accompanied Palpatine to the second Death Star. And
also then dies on second Death Star.
Dies on second Death Star as well. My number 2 is actually Simaloo's sort of companion, Simaloo's friend. It's Janus Grijatus, who is the right hand, who is sort of another right hand man, the Emperor, another one on the Imperial Ruling Council.
Another fun fact: Simaloo's name was used in Star Wars Legends, Star Wars customizable card game.
Oh, thank you for that nice tidbit about Simaloo.
He wasn't named until until the Death Star 2 limited pack came out for that game, and he was given a name.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah, there you go.
Or if you want another feature about Janus Grijatus, his first appearance in Legends was in the novel Plagueis. So we both picked one of the Emperor's aides. You picked Simaloo, and I picked Janus Grijatus. Now your number 1 is
a very important character in the Star Wars universe. Very well known character in the Star Wars universe. Very widely cosplayed in the Star Wars universe, especially if you're cosplaying on a budget and happen to have an ice cream maker with you.
Yes.
I am of course talking about the great Wilro Hood from Empire Strikes Back.
Wilro Hood, the legend himself. You see, but Wilro Hood run by the screen. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit. Yeah. He's got a big mustache. He's got he is holding an ice cream maker, and he's just running for his life.
Yeah.
And in Legends, Wilro Hood is a rebel spy, and that ice cream maker is actually a computer data core, which is saving all the rebel information on it, and he's running out of there. But in canon, the ice cream maker, thanks to the Mandalorian, has been canonized to be a Camptono, which that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's actually like a storage device for precious items. And the fans have really taken. There is entire Star Wars fan groups who just dress up as Wilro Hoods. There's action figures.
I was going to say, he's got his own action figure.
Yeah, there's action figures. Wilro Hood is one of those characters where if you're a Star Wars fan, you know who Wilro Hood is. Now, 1977, A New Hope. But the person sat next to Luke, most people assumed was Wedge Antilles, right?
Yeah.
But he's got a different face, completely different voice. Wedge Antilles is later played by Dennis Lawson, who has played him up until episode 9.
Yes.
But this character is called Cole Tackbright. And his nickname is Fake Wedge, because he looks a lot like Wedge. And the name Fake Wedge was initially a fan name given to him, because we didn't know who this man was. He was just a guy who looked loads like Wedge, but wasn't. In the 2017 book, Certain Points of View, it was released that Cole Tackbright was his own character, and he was called Fake Wedge in that story, in that chapter, because he looked like Wedge Antilles. Everyone made fun of him for it. And at the end of the Battle of Yavin, when Luke is being congratulated, Wedge isn't there. Wedge actually goes to Cole Tackbright and says, "Hey, if I want to look like anyone, I want to look like you. So well done, good job." Even though Cole Tackbright wasn't actually allowed to fly up in an X-wing, he was grounded. So yeah, it's a nice neat little story about this neat little character who just has one line, and he's got his own story. I really enjoy it because it's proof that Star Wars does pay enough attention to detail. That is my number 1. It is Cole Tackbright, and that is our top 5 for obscure characters.